Okay, y'all. Part 54. So we was just laying up, and I came to the realization that I was 18 and I was free. I had my own money, so I applied for an apartment next door to my mama's house. So it was a building set right on side of the duplex that my mama was living in. So it was, I could still be safe. I could still be around everybody because I didn't know if I was how I was going to do it. It was my first place. So I got my first place. And my daddy Irvin, he lived in who lived in B at the time? I think Lee lived in B. Yeah, Lee and Peggy. And I moved in C. Yeah. Shoot. Jamie drug habit was getting worse and worse. That was bad. And then I think he had caught that time for 18 months and went to jail. Yeah, Raheem was already born. He had to be born in 97 or something. Because in 98. When was Raheem born? I think 97. I ain't sure. I don't know. But, yeah, in 98, he was like a year. He was a year and something. And she was pregnant with Hakeem. Was he a year? No, they be the same age. So he was like damn near a year and she was pregnant. Jamie was gone to prison. So I was paying her bills in Ballinger Oaks. And I, was paying for my apartment. And I had to keep the upkeep on her. She had a little red, what kind of truck that was? A Trailblazer? She had a little red Trailblazer. I was keeping her truck up. I was paying all her bills in Ballinger Oaks. And I was sending Jamie money. And I remember Jamie had ran the phone bill up to $700. I paid that. Yeah. I paid all the bills in Ballinger Oaks. Paid that $700 phone bill. Was sending Jamie money. And I kept Raheem. Yeah. I used to buy her Raheem clothes and shoes and shit. And my godchild, Sweetie, they the same age. Raheem and Sweetie is the same age. They was born around the same time. And I used to have both of them. I don't know, it was something about me having two. I used to always have two. I guess I was used to two from Lily and Rainisha. And then, I used to have Stevie and Tasha together. And when Raheem was born, I had Raheem and Sweetie together. I still had the other children too, but they just was big. Rainisha was big. Stevie and Tasha was big. They was probably 4 or something. 4, maybe 5-ish. And I had Rock and Sweetie now. I used to have them together. I'm always like putting 2 children together. So, shoot, what else? Life was pretty good. My daddy was with Irene. My dad was with Irene. And he was cheating with Kiana. And Irene used to, try to stand up for herself. And I remember one time, my dad was beating on that lady, and he had beat the lady with a steering column. I had never in my life seen nobody do no shit like that. It ain't funny, it's not funny. I do not condone domestic violence. But it was a whole car steering column. It was fucked up because I love Irene. I remember another fight they had. He had took a screwdriver and like the hard part, the handle part, he was popping on the forehead with the goddamn screwdriver handle. That man was here. Anyway, you get off that. So, my first little place, I got Ashley Furniture. I love that bedroom set. I had bought me a little Mercury. I went to go buy a car. I had bought me a little Mercury. A little light blue Mercury. I remember that little car. But I had went for a reading. In the reading, the lady was saying I was gonna buy a car and it was gonna be a problem with the transmission. My neighbor Janelle, he had like a white donk. I wanted that car so bad. But I had seen him going under the car doing some kind of work to it. So I had thought about what Miss Susan had said about the transmission for it. So I thought that car was the car with the transmission problem. And I know as long as the motor good, as long as the transmission good, you know, I'm good. So I didn't buy the fucking white donk because I was scared thinking it was the car that was in the reading saying something wrong with the transmission. But I ended up buying the little Mercury, and that was the car that something was wrong with the damn transmission. But it didn't need no whole transmission. It just needed a transmission strainer, and we had this Italian man that was doing mechanic work. Even though my brother and them did mechanic work, they still had Nat. The man's name was Nat. Nat had put a transmission strainer on the car and it ran perfect. So I was good. Shoot. I ended up getting pregnant and miscarrying. I slipped on the steps. I walked in socks, and I had some big old socks, and I was going down the steps, and the sock twisted on my feet, and I fell. I never talked to anybody on earth about it. It just happened. Everybody said what they wanted to say about it. That pregnancy, I was excited and, you know, telling everybody. I hate that. I'm just going to say I ended up miscarrying 3 times. I had an ovarian cyst that turned to cancer when I was 28. It had hair, bone, teeth, nails, all of that in. They call it a dermoid cyst. They did an incision in my navel and 2 little bitty incisions on my bikini line. They did a laparoscopic surgery. The instrument that they used had a camera on the end, and it took pictures of the cyst as they went in me to remove it. They gave me a little DVD player of it and a bunch of pictures of it. I done had 2 ovarian cysts. I had one recently before I moved to New Orleans. Before I moved from New Orleans back to Atlanta. I done had 3 miscarriages and 2 ovarian cysts. That's all I'm gonna say about it, period. Anything that happened, how I felt, how it made me feel, all of that is my business. Don't care what nobody feel about it. I do what I want. It's my life. It's my choice. If I don't want to tell a bitch about my